really help you streamline it. The next one is, if it's not revenue, it's an expense. And again, seriously, this is a very important principle you need to embed in your mind. Do you make purchases without consideration of the cost? Are you putting money out there that is not really, returning you any sort of income or potential for income? If it's not revenue, it's an expense. And all expenses should lead to profit. So put those in your mind, and those are two of the most powerful money management principles that you'll ever hear. Now, when you're continuously looking at your business accounts and you're penny pinching, you're trying to make sure every penny spent right, you're not being cheap. It's called being smart. Being frugal with your funds, and I prefer to use frugal than cheap, but being frugal with your funds really does maximize your profit potential. It frees up more resources to pay off any debts or loans you have for the business, and it puts you in a much stronger financial position. You really need to determine how each and every dollar in your business is spent and justify that. And think, is that dollar being spent really the right way? And can you get more bang for your buck elsewhere? For example, if you have a supplier that's charging you $1 more than you can get it elsewhere, and you're buying 50,000 units, well, that's an extra $50,000. If you can buy it elsewhere from another supplier for $1 less, you save $50,000. That $50,000 can go into marketing, or it can get more money and resources and potential elsewhere. So each and every contract you have, don't think of loyalty and friendship and all of these things. If you can streamline your operation to get the same thing elsewhere without cutting corners or costs dramatically and jeopardizing your business, then look at each and every dollar that's being spent and see if you can get a better deal. And if you can get a better deal, this is a negotiation tactic I've used many times. I'll share this with you, and I'll kind of go off on a small tangent here. If you have two suppliers, you've got a long-term relationship with supplier A, and supplier B actually has a better deal. Approach supplier A and say, listen, supplier B, who I won't name, is offering me a better deal. And I've got a long-term relationship with you, but is there any potential here for negotiation? I don't want to leave you guys, but I'm being offered a better deal. And if you can't get a better deal, and if your relationship with supplier A is really not up to snuff, and they say, well, okay, well, we can't do that, then go to supplier B. You don't have loyalty. That's their business. They're in business to make money. So if supplier A isn't willing to help you, then you have the option to go to supplier B. You have that money there. But give preferential option to supplier A and maintain a healthy, strong relationship. That will help you in the long run, because you have all that kind of trend and relationship there in existence. And if they can help you, great. But also put them on notice as, hey, this guy's giving me a better deal. I don't want to leave, but hey, help me out here. It's a great negotiating tactic. And if you can renegotiate all of your contracts and expenditures in a similar manner before going across to another supplier, then great. You get the same benefits, you get the same discount, and it's protecting your bottom line. And that is not being cheap, that's being bloody smart. Now, think about this. Can you save money better with a higher return? Now, think about this. If you have a business account with your bank and everything else, and they're offering X, Y, Z, and banks are always offering nice deals right now. So, and this is continuous anyway. Every business or every bank wants business accounts because they have high cash flow, they have sometimes, or most of the time, high capital, and they're making money off that. So they're always offering nice incentives. So see where you can put your money, play the banks off of each other, and see if you can move stuff around that will give you a higher return on that. And here's another little aspect. This is, again, being frugal. How many CEOs have you heard that drive their old cars? Now, again, you could go out and buy a flash new Mercedes or the bloody great Hummer or something like that. But a lot of really successful CEOs, they just drive a run-of-the-mill, everyday, run-around car. It doesn't have to be a flash car. If you see that, then that's a smart businessman. You don't have to have extravagant cars. You don't have to have $1 million home. Well, this very, very nice if you can. Don't get me wrong. I drive a couple of nice cars myself, which I've managed to accrue over time. But I tell you what, I got a hell of a deal on them. I didn't pay full sticker price on them because I'm frugal. It's not being cheap, it's being smart. Think about that. Also, when you're frugal in business, just bear in mind you will prosper and succeed when others fail. Now, again, I mentioned just now, looking at today's economy, it's 2008, the end of 2008, and the amount of businesses that are failing because they really didn't manage their money, they didn't look at the trends, they didn't look at the future, and I can guarantee those CEOs were not looking at their finances almost on a daily basis. Now, admittedly, large corporations, that's difficult to do. They should have an overview and a daily report every day. Being a CEO myself at one stage, I used to demand daily reports about everything that was going on. So I knew exactly where the business was. I can guarantee these guys weren't doing that. They didn't look at trends, they didn't have future analysis, and they weren't preparing for the future. So if you're frugal, you'll know where every single dollar in your small business or your online business is going. You will prosper, you will react accordingly, and you will succeed where others fail miserably. And if you can do that, congratulations, because you're going to be one step ahead of everything else. One aspect of business we haven't talked about yet is marketing. And for any business, marketing is an essential aspect of success. Online businesses have a lot more potential because, hey, we have the internet. We can have global reach in just a moment. You know, as soon as we put our website online, we can attract visitors and traffic and sales from anywhere in the world, from Honolulu to, to Australia to Singapore to Mongolia, wherever the hell they have a connection, they can be your potential customer. But we need to understand our markets and where they are actually located. We need to understand our customer. How do we get in front of them? And if we can stand in front of them and tell them, hey, here we are, hold up a big sign, we've got what you want, then perfect. And I heard a story recently that actually really kind of amused me, and I'll give you a little analogy here. This guy was in New York, and I think it was in Manhattan, and he wanted to go to a sub shop. It was a little later in the afternoon. It was about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and the sub shop was shut. Couldn't get a sandwich. He was like, well, what the hell's up with that?